Hey everyone, welcome to Fintello Friday 15 minutes live demo series. So every Friday, I come and talk about one problem that I see financial advisor, insurance agent are facing, and then I show you exactly how a particular feature of Fintello, which is our marketing automation software that we have built with a lot of details. I'll walk you through the exact feature and how it works, why we built it, and really give you some education and context. And at the end, we talk about, or at least I share, some real life, uses of how other advisors are using it and how you can also do something like this. Okay, so that's the purpose of this. And today's topic is, LinkedIn campaigns, which means if you want to, drive leads and appointments from LinkedIn, I'm going to show you, how this works. So let's talk a little bit about the problems that advisors have where this applies. So I guess the main problem, honestly, that every single advisor that I speak with, and I speak with a lot of advisors, is they don't have enough appointments they're doing with their ideal prospects every single month. So the problem is you don't have enough meeting in your calendar. You don't have enough people to talk to. That is the main problem. And so let's talk about what I hear people do, right? So there are many ways to solve this problem. You can go traditional, cold call, emails, reach out, door knock, join BNI chapters, go to networking events. There's a whole bunch of way of doing it. And there are many different ways of doing it online, right? One effective method is using LinkedIn, which is what I personally have been doing it since 2018, and we also have helped many advisors do that. So your problem of not having enough appointments can be solved, in part or even in full, by you methodically using LinkedIn outreach campaign. And that is really important to do. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now and actually show you how you should look into doing it. Because again, what happens is when it comes to LinkedIn marketing or any platform, but we'll stick to LinkedIn today, there's a lot of different things you can do on LinkedIn platform. So you might be confused about what those capabilities are and what it actually can produce and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's kind of the issue. So let me share my screen now and we'll go straight into that. I'm going to share Fintello screen and I will now go here. Okay, so this is really what our platform looks like. And today I'm zooming into LinkedIn. We have various other features. So when it comes to LinkedIn, and I'll just go on my LinkedIn account for a second. So when it comes to LinkedIn, and I personally have been like a heavy user of LinkedIn for a long time, there's a lot of different features LinkedIn have that we use. We are using it to look at other people's profile. We are posting content, all of that stuff, right? And then we also have a lot of messages that we send to people that you can do that. Um, LinkedIn also has a premium sales navigator that you can use. Um, and okay, I'm just going to share this tab instead. Um, you know what? Let me just give me a second. I'm going to do one thing today because normally I don't switch between multiple things. So let me share. Um, let's see, entire screen. Let's see how that works. Okay. Hopefully you can now see LinkedIn. Okay, I'm going to go back here. So, um, so LinkedIn basically has a lot of capability, and you can use that. Okay, I'm just gonna come back and to just stick to Fintello screen because I know that works. So I was trying to show you LinkedIn. If you log into LinkedIn, you'll see like, you have posting people do, you can go to your message inbox. You also have sales navigator that you use and all of that stuff. And each of those are intended for different use. Like content posting is for building a brand and so on and so forth. So one powerful way is to use LinkedIn to find your ideal prospect and launch campaigns. So if you go to Fintello, for example, if you see here on LinkedIn, we have different campaign library. Now, the way I build Fintello is it comes with ready to use materials for almost every single campaign, right? So, for example, if you see here, here is a campaign for like, job change campaign. So, if you're running job change type campaign, we have all the templates here for messaging and everything. Okay. Similarly, I think I'll just go to one of our most proven one, which is retirement, and we have life insurance. So you can create as many campaigns as you want, and we actually guide you. We give you the templates, but we also customize it. But this is essentially the simple process, right? So the very simple thing you do is you use one of these campaigns. So let's just take an example. If someone wants to create a retirement campaign, which we literally launched this for one of the advisor yesterday, so you connect your Sales Navigator account and you make a list of people, okay? And there is, many different techniques of using it, but fundamentally you can find people using various filters that they give you. And of course, there's a lot of strategic way of doing it. We cover that into our programs and everything. So once you nail down people that you want, be it from certain industry, might be a business owners in your own city, and so on and so forth, once you have connected all of that to Fintello, so we have everything, all your social accounts are connected, then we are able to read your list. Like, for example, you see some of the list we have. And once you do that, that's it. That's the first step. And then you set up all your messages here. And we give you super proven and simple templates. We have this retirement questions and things of that nature that we ask. So now what happens is the system will reach out to 20 people a day, fully automated. And this is what it will tell. It will replace their name and it will personalize and it will send. Then once they connect with you, typically within 2 hours, we like to send a message. So this message will go out. If they don't reply, then we can put delays and say, okay, wait for X days. And then we have different templates. We change the offer, right? We have different angles. So this is where you need to really have some marketing knowledge. And in our transformation program that we help advisors, we cover all of this, right? Because this is really important to have an effective campaign. You really need to know what angle you want to communicate with. How do you really offer some value, and what directions you take? And there are many different ways. Like, we have links that you can give for people to download some things. We can ask questions, and that's a whole different process. But technically, you set it up like this. It's nothing but a message. And then if they don't reply, you again follow up. And typically we wait for like 2 or 3 days and send. And now what you have here is a campaign that you can name, put your descriptions and everything. You have a list that you selected. And once you come down and launch, the system will automatically start to do this. Now, this is a classic, outbound marketing approach. You find people, you reach out to them, but here you can now use, automation capability. There are always some, constraints and challenges with automations on LinkedIn, but it still is a viable method, and you can do that. Now with AI coming in, there is a lot of potential to put AI on every single message. We can customize all of that. Yes, you can do that. We still find that keeping things very simple and basic generally works better. So overusing of AI in every single thing can be a challenge because AI can make mistakes, as you know, and you will need to watch it. So what we prefer is, like, sit down and have a very strategic thinking and create all these different campaigns. So like whatever campaigns you're running, we have all these different campaigns for life insurance and this and that, and there's even more. This is like some small sample set. So now that you have done that, your campaign starts to run, and you can see, like, some of the past campaigns that you have run, which you have paused, and you can do that. In addition to this, in our platform, we also have something called warm campaign. So cold is a campaign that you're going to connect with new people. So it says here invitation. It starts with invitations and then goes into messaging. Warm campaign is people that you already connected with, and you can make a list on Sales Navigator, or you can use your own custom list that comes in our platform. And you can pick, like, for example, in this case, like, this could be a list of people that attended my webinar. I can make a list and send them messages, in the same kind of concept, and create more opportunities. So you see, you can now start getting very strategic with LinkedIn and now do a lot more. You can do multiple campaigns, if you will. And a lot of this is now automated. So that is how we find you can absolutely find a lot of people that would be an ideal fit. You can build trust with your LinkedIn profiles and all of that, and then start having some conversation. Now, the difference between people booking meetings and not really comes down to what I just showed you, like the message you create. And again, it's not so much about, I want to clarify one thing. It is not so much about being like ninja with your marketing copywriting skills. Yes, that can help to have some, but sometimes people overdo that. What I have found best is like, be very authentic and talk like a how you talk normally. And there is some science that we have studied on psychology and science on how to talk to people, how to ask questions, what words you use, and stuff like that. And we provide that in our templates. But your ability to be very human will dictate whether you get more meetings or less. And this one, unfortunately, requires more than just technology. It requires some coaching, training, deeper learning on what works. Okay. But this is really technically how we do it. And once you do that, our system will start inviting people. You can see, all the new connections that you're having here. Any messages people send, you see this little message box. So here are some of the messages I got today. And from here, you can track all those leads. You can go down the path, and from that point on, you can at least manage. In our system, what we've also built is like a full-blown lead management capability. We can see all the LinkedIn messages here. We have different templates that we have created here, as you see here. This is really how I'm using LinkedIn. This is my own LinkedIn campaign. So instead of writing messages all the time, I have some templates that we have created. We also actually have AI that we can create good messages, and AI now reads the full context and creates a beautiful message. It does a pretty good job at that. But honestly, we still find 80% could be a good template. Like, if you have people who are not sure, book meeting, interested, this is a process I built like multiple years back, and it still works well, really well. To be honest, this is like 80% of it. 20%, you could use AI, or you can actually custom write the message based on what they're saying. And then you change the statuses of people, whether they're interested or not, you put some notes and everything, and boom. That's really how you do it. So this is like really a good way of doing LinkedIn. And again, in our platform, you can do cold campaign, completely new, and also warm campaign, which is something that I highly recommend. I'm going to stop sharing and go back to my screen here. Okay. So that's how, like, Fintello makes it easier. We also have like whole tracking that we show you. I'll do it on a different video on how to read your LinkedIn stats and everything, what metrics matters and all of that. But in today's world, if you're not like doing this, if you're not automating some of this outreach, some messages, because the reality is all the prospect on LinkedIn or otherwise, they are getting a lot of messages from many people on multiple channels, from WhatsApp to SMS to emails to phone calls and LinkedIn messages and everything. So it's a pretty noisy world out there. We do this for living, and I know this from experience of doing it and also helping advisors. So you really need to give yourself an edge. And I think LinkedIn is a platform, in spite of many advisors using it, in spite of a lot of spam going on, a lot of messages going on, if you are honest and if you are consistent and if you're doing it with good intention for a long time, you are going to find enough people that will talk to you. That's been honestly our experience. I just spoke with an advisor from LinkedIn who came on the meeting through LinkedIn yesterday. In spite of so many marketing company pitching different solutions and all that, you'll always find you can control that. What you can control is what you do. So if you are not, finding new people to add, like LinkedIn allows you to reach out to 200 people a week, so about 800 a month. That will add about 200 to 300 new people in your account every single month. And if you keep growing that, and if you also now go back to people that have connected, create some warm campaigns, like I showed you, you're going to give yourself an opportunity to do that. Okay. So I think that's it for today's demo. I want to keep it like 15 minutes, as I mentioned. So the real life use of this would be when you are working with clients, let this one behind the scenes, find more prospect, start engaging and asking questions to people, and then spend 5-10 minutes to check the messages. Like in our case, we have the thing, reply to people, have a conversation. And when you start doing that type of thing, you would eliminate the need to do networking events, cold call, door knock, or anything. And this will become your main way of prospecting. Anyway, hope this helps. I'll see you in the next Friday.